Hello again, whiskey fans. Today we're going to do Johnnie Walker Double Black. This is the, I believe, the most recent offering from Johnnie Walker. I think it's more recent than the Swing, although I could be wrong on that. There's several things interesting about this thing. First off, if you noticed from the label before I started to pour it, this is a whiskey without an age statement. I'm assuming, whereas say the typical black label says 12, that they've used some non-12-year-old whiskeys, probably some younger ones in this blend. The goal of it evidently was to add some more peat to the classic black label formulation, and to use some stronger cask. But again, that process, well, I mean, if you want to, if it makes sense. I mean, if you want to if your goal is to get more peat in a whiskey, more age is probably going to diminish that. And I completely agree with the basic idea that in a blended whiskey, who really cares about the age statement? The goal is to define the kind of that magic point whereby you've best maximized all the strengths of the whiskeys. Probably many people believe Johnnie Walker strongly does. Immediately you're almost smacked in the face by the peat, much like in Black Bottle, but around that peat are some interesting notes. Maybe some caramel, some a little mossy, kind of almost medicinal flavor there. It's got a much more, in contrast to, say, another great blend that emphasizes peat, Black Bottle. This is a little more nuanced. The peat isn't as dominant, but it's not quite as dominant. Kind of hits and then fades back down, and some other, kind of little oak is in there somewhere that you can really taste. This is more expensive than the traditional black label. I don't, like with many scotches, I question whether it's worth regularly buying. Although it's quite good. Maybe if you see it on sale, this is one to get. Certainly it's one to try. If you like the classic Johnnie Walker flavor, black flavor, which certainly I do, this is a nice expression of that, emphasizing, the classic Johnnie Walker has that peat note. Here, that's being really dominant. That's being brought out heavily. The smell of it is similar to the taste. Very alcohol-y here for some reason. Maybe it's because it's the bottom. Something a little sweet coming through. Smoke. And that's about all I'm getting. A very good blend, as you would expect from Johnnie Walker. A blend of a distillery of great repute and distinction. Although the only criticism you can really make of them is the profligate use of food coloring in there that they use. Mildly recommended, and not because it's not good. Again, this is $46. I think was how much maybe 45, but substantially higher than the black, which is a great blended whiskey. It's I liked it a little more than say Black Bottle, but not that much more. And I can get Black Bottle right now for $20, and to me that's a no-brainer. The price difference is just a deal breaker. This is well worth trying though. It's a really enjoyable whiskey, a very easy drink. For one that's got the strength of the peat, and if you like a whiskey that's very smoky, this is certainly one to try. Not the best one for that, but again, from a blend, it's very, as you would expect and as you would insist, it's very balanced, very smooth, very drinkable, and very high quality. But I don't think it's going to, unless you are a big peat head, and you've got the money, I don't think it's going to replace Johnnie Walker and Black typically. And if I were you, I would keep a bottle of Black Bottle and Johnnie Walker Black, and enjoy those, and we get your mood, and that would be kind of what I would do. Although again, I think this has got a much more mature flavor than Black Bottle, probably because I would imagine that coming from a Johnnie Walker Heart, Black Heart, you're probably going to typically have older whiskeys in this than you do in Black Bottle. Interesting comparison, although I can't get it right now, is Black Bottle 10-year, which is a fantastic whiskey that usually runs about $38, and has all the peat and explosiveness of Black Bottle, but a much more nuanced flavor from the extra years that their blend has gotten. It's a really exceptional whiskey. Anyway, that's all we got. See ya.